There are lots of things that we can do to stand out in an overcrowded marketplace. And here's the reality at the end of the day. That one thing, play off of your company name, that one thing that you do or don't do could be the difference between closing a sale and losing a sale. Would y'all agree? If not, if you don't believe me on that, watch this. Take the word closing. Closing. If you got rid of the letter C, what would happen? You lose it. It's only one letter. Not a big deal. It's only one letter, right? It's a pretty big deal, that one letter, right? And how many of you agree when you sit across the table, that one skill, that one idea, that one thing that you do or don't do can make the difference. So, and now let's talk about this. When you close a sale, what happens? Get some money. Anybody want to make more money this year than last year? Anybody need to make more money this year than last year? I got my goalpost. Right? Shake it. It's good. All right. If you want to make more money this year than last year, what has to happen? Something has to what? And the cool thing is sometimes it's only one thing. It's just one thing. Sometimes it's something you already know. But maybe if we got back to you, you know? So sometimes we forget, and we get, I myself, the same. Think about it. Professional baseball players are going to be going to training camp here coming up next month, right? March. They're going to be in Arizona and Florida. And these dudes are the best in the world, right? They make a lot of money and they're the highest skill. Why are they spending a whole month? They already know how to hit, don't they? Don't they know how to throw? Catch? Why are they doing that? Because before their occupation is what's called professional baseball player. And how many of you agree school is never out for a pro? Right? If we're not getting better, we're getting worse. So, congratulations for being here. I know my audience is a good one. Why? Because y'all don't have to be here. You want to be here. Usually, by the way, my audience consists of prisoners. The broker said you have to be here for this meeting, and so I like my audience today because you guys are open and you're eager and ready to go. So let me share my 3 goals. If we're all okay with those 3 things, then we'll move forward. If we're not, let's stop and make sure we do an audit. Okay. My first goal, and for 20 years now, my job, my goal every day is to bring value to people, and that usually means the sales meeting. And those people are in that meeting, and there's my goal, to make a difference, to be valuable for everybody here in the room, in the form of ideas, in the form of information. And so I'm going to give, and then I'm going to give some more in hopes that you get only one thing. Okay, your notes and all that stuff, that's great, but just dissect and pull out one thing and forget about everything else for the time being. Just that one thing, you know? So that's my first goal. My second goal is to have some fun while we do that. Is that okay with everyone? This side of the room is fun? Good? Yes? This side of the room is fun? Right. Sometimes I get a few people in a group that don't like to have fun. And you ever met a person look like they've been weaned on a dill pickle? Ever heard that term? There's a new term for it, right? Stay away from those people if you can, right? I do have fun with or without the group, so you're all fairly warned. I don't force people to have fun. But if you did not notice, I do have sneakers on with a suit, which sends probably a pretty valuable message or a loud message. I wore dress shoes for a long time, and I can tell you my sneakers are way more fun than your dress shoes, I promise. Okay. So, anyway, third goal. I work with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Weldon Long, and this guy is pretty amazing. Let me share with you just a 60-second overview of who he is and what he's done, because I think you'll care, but I'll let you decide that. Mr. Weldon Long, in 2004, he started a company in his living room. He started a heating and air conditioning business, contractor. In 2004, 0 sales in a living room. And by 2009, he had built that company to over $20 million in sales, inked 5,000 saw us as one of the fastest growing companies in America in 2009. Y'all remember that? Our competition was going out of business around us. We're flourishing in our city and in the country. Why? And I give you the answer. Something we're really well known for, and that is we understood at our company that what's going on out there is important. Just like in real estate, it's important. But how many of you agree what's going on in here is more important than what's going on out there? It's true, right? What's going on here is more important than what's going on out there. Why? Because whatever's going on out there, if you believe it, you're going to be right. Oh man, it's so tough. Real estate. There's discount brokers coming in town. Man, nobody cares about service and quality anymore. All they care about is price. You put that in your mind, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be right. How's that going to affect your performance? How's that going to affect your activity? Right? So we're real big into what's going on up here. A lot of people, especially sales training organizations, don't really put a lot of stock or thought or information in programs on that. Here's what to say and how to say it. You know what? That doesn't matter if you don't get up and go talk to somebody. Right? So what is going to force you to get out there when you don't want to get out there? What's going to force you to make those 2 more, 3 more calls consistently every day, even though you, like the other realtor, don't want to do it? Right? So the mindset is a big part of what we teach, and our company really understood that. We didn't participate in a tough economy. We just went about what we do, what we're known for, and just kept doing it every day. So anyway, that's not the best part of the story. The second best part of the story is he's a 9th grade dropout. I like to tell people he finished school in 9th grade. Okay, it's a little more positive, but he did finish school in 9th grade. Okay, dropped out. Best part of the story, in my opinion, and a lot of people say that's pretty interesting. In 2004, this dude right here walked out of a homeless shelter after consistently being broken homeless for over 20 years. That is impressive. Build a company to 0 to 20, that's okay, it's cool, it's good. But a guy who was broken homeless for over 20 years walks out of a homeless shelter and literally built a company in less than 5 years in a tough economy. So how does that happen? And we've talked about it a little bit, danced around it a little bit, and I'll say it again. If I change, everything will change for me. Would you agree? Guess what I used to do for years? Hope the economy changes. I hope the company changes the pay structure, right? Is hope a very good strategy if you're in sales? I used to take a drug. Did you guys remember the new drug salespeople are taking? I used to take this drug. It's called opium. Opium. Thanks for the charity laugh on that. I'm not going to quit my day job, I swear. Okay. Corny, do I deserve that little yes? What's the point though? If you're in this business and you're hoping, you're in the wrong business. This is such a cool business because whatever you want to have, you can design. You just got to plug in whatever it is to create that, right? It's easy. If you guys make 10 grand on a sale, how do you make 100 grand? 10 sales. What's the next question? How do you make 10 sales? What's the next question? How do you make 1 sale? What's the next question? Times those things up by ratio and 10 sales, and there you have your activity goal. And if that's all you focused on, you hit 100 grand. What's my activity to be every day, consistently? I used to say if I have time, I'll go prospect today. How'd that work out for me? Did I make time at the end of the day to go prospect? No. I was busy being busy. And I finally realized I was mistaking busyness for business. It's a big mistake. Right? What is your magic number every day and hit it every day? Even if you don't want to. Why would you do that? Because you want what you want really bad, or just as bad? By the way, Mr. Weldon Long made a goal to be massively successful. He didn't make a goal to get a job. Because had he made a goal just to get a job, After 4 or 5 months of knocking on doors and nobody would hire him, he would have quit, wouldn't he? He made a goal to be massively successful. Nothing was going to stop him. You want to know why? Because he knew his why. Goals are great, goals are fine. But goals mean nothing unless you know why you want. You ever seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith? Kind of an inspirational movie, yeah? Just change the characters. Okay? Mr. Weldon Long's dragging a 3-year-old little boy around the streets. Guess what became his whole driving force? A 3-year-old little boy. He became unstoppable. Nothing was going to stop him. And so I challenge you to the same question. In 2015, what do you want? What do you want? Did you write it down? Okay? Why don't people write their goals down, by the way? They say about 90% of realtors don't write their goals down. Why not? Check this out. Here's something I learned. The same reason people write their goals down is the same reason people don't. Interesting, huh? The same reason people write their goals down is the same reason people don't. Accountability. If it's written, it's what? Now it's yours.
Yep.
If it's not written, well, guess what? No ownership. No ownership, what happens? You don't have to admit you failed if you do.
Yep.
And a lot of people want that out. Don't give yourself the out. Right? Create more accountability. Part of that is just writing it down. Mr. Weldon Long wrote down exactly what his goal was. Not to get a job. He wrote it down. He looked at it every day. It became his whole driving force. When he didn't want him knocking on the door, he did. Right? So what's going to keep you going? And I'll give you an example. Does anyone have kids here? Kids?
Of course.
Everybody.
I have 2 boys, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And our 1-year-old wakes us up every day at 5:17 on the dot. Okay. Now I didn't think I was an early riser, but I get a lot done in the morning. Now that I get up and do what I need to do and so forth, I just thought, slip in, right? It's amazing. I didn't realize I could get so much done in the morning. But what I'm getting at is this: I've tied a lot of my goals to my kids. When I finally learned that I was more willing to quit on me than I am my kids, I started tying all my goals to my kids. Because I could quit on me easy. Easier than quitting on my kids, would you agree? So whatever your goals are, fine. Tie other people to them to keep you accountable. For example, every year we take a trip. My family and I, we go for about 3 weeks. We do Hawaii a lot. We head over to Europe and we just want to go see the world, every 3 weeks in December. And what I've done is I've tied all my goals to this trip. And so at the 9-month mark, guess what? If I haven't done what I said I would do, we don't go. It's never happened once. Why? Because when I want to quit, I can't. When I get home early and my wife says, how'd it go? Did you talk to your, prospect your 5 people a day? Well, I only got 3. I only talked to 3 people today. 3? Well, it is 2:30. Still got time. Get out there, right? You got 2 more people, right? Right? Go, tell your kids you're going to Disneyland if you achieve your 2015 goal. Go ahead, go home. I dare you. Double dog dare you. What would they want to know every day? How'd you do today, Dad? Right? How'd you do today, Ma? Hit your numbers?
The biggest fear is of being turned down when people are going prospecting.
Okay, so how do you deal with rejection?
Yes.
Now, remember earlier at the beginning I said, your mindset and how you think is the most important thing you have? I think this is also a very good example. You can get out there and know what to say and how to say it, and that's going to give you confidence. That's great. But when you hear those no's and no's and no's and no's, what happens eventually? It starts to break you down. That's why you got to be rock solid. Yeah? So let me share with you a little game, something we teach. How much do y'all make on an average sale? Just throw me a number. Average sale. Whatever that.
50.
What is it?
15,000.
13,000? 10,000? Let's use 10,000. I'll maybe play with the number a little bit later too. Let's just say you make 10 grand on a sale. How many people do you have to talk to make a sale? Advertising, networking, all the things that you do to get business. How many people do you have to talk to make one sale? And if you know that number, congratulations, you're in about the top 3% of realtors. Because most people don't know that number. What happens when we don't know that number? We don't know what to do every day. Number one. Number two, you can't play this game. It's a very good game to play, and I'll share it with you. Let me throw a number out there. Let's say you've got to talk to 50 people to make one sale. Now, I'm not talking 50 presentations. I'm talking 50 people you touch. Yeah? Grocery store, bank, elevator, dry cleaner, do they know who you are? Do they know what you do? Because guess what? How much business are you losing if they don't? This is a numbers game, right? When somebody knows somebody who needs services that you offer, who are they thinking of first? People they know. So there's an old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Okay, our saying is it's not who you know, it's who knows you. I think it'll get you to, if it can get you to change how you think, it can get you to change how you act. Yeah? Who knows you is way more important than who you know. Yes? From a referral standpoint and all that good stuff. So, anyway, that being said, by the way, we're in the training business, okay? I don't have to talk to 50 people about training. I just talk to 50 people. Why? Because it's easier to do that. Just to have 50 conversations. 50 conversations will result in 3 appointments. 3 appointments will equal 1 sale, or whatever your numbers are, right? So watch this. You said 10,000 on a sale or 13. That's too hard for me to do my math on that, so I'm going to take 10 grand, okay? 50 contacts, 1 sale. 50 contacts, 1 sale, 10 grand. That's 10,000 divided by 50. What is it? $200. So let me ask you the question. If you're in real estate and you know your number, how much money do you make every time someone says no? Guess what most realtors answer? You don't make anything. Really? You sure about that? What is this? What do you think? What happens when you think different? I'll give you an example. Monday morning, I'll be out that front door at 6 a.m. Okay? Hop over to Starbucks and I'll be right here at 6 a.m. First person to show up. Everybody you talk to on Monday, I'll give you $200 cash. No taxes.
I'll be here.
Oh, would you? 6 a.m.?
I agree.
You'll be here at 5:30. You want to make sure you beat everybody else here, huh? The one person gets to play, first one to show up. What just happened? When you change how you think, you change how you act. It's just a thought that creates. I'll give you a simple formula. Mr. Weldon Long was broken homes for 20 years. Why? Take every other broken homes person out of this, please, for a second. I'm just talking about him, okay? When you think like that, you will what? You will act like that. When you act like that, what will happen? That's what you'll get. Plug anything into that if you want. I want to be a good parent. Well, think like that, act like that, become that. You can plug anything into this formula. It's the neat thing about the event. We're not just helping people in their business. We want to help you in their life. Yeah? Your thoughts drive everything. In your business, thoughts drive action or what? Inaction. Inaction will create what kind of result? Not a very good one. Action will create what kind of result? Where does it start? We're changing how you think. So, don't thank your client out loud. Hey, thanks for the $200, man. I appreciate it. See you later. Right? Keep this to yourself. It's for your internal, so you can stay motivated and keep going. Yeah?
Yep.
I promise you will talk to more people if every day, 5 is your goal, $1,000 you make every day. If you consistently do it, because numbers don't lie. What happens to a baseball player? If they bat .250 and they are in a slump of 0 for 8, what do? They keep getting up to the plate. Why? Because they know they're about to go 3 for 4. Because numbers just work themselves out, right? So anyway, just some things to think about. All right. Okay. Now, we do a lot on the mindset. Mr. Long is very. It's right up his wheel well on a lot of the stuff that we teach. So, really, part one of our day, and I guess I didn't share all 3 of my goals today. Number 1, to give information. Number 2, to have some fun. Number 3, opportunities available to you guys. We have an event coming up March the 12th in San Jose, actually Santa Clara, at the Convention Center. We've limited our seminar to 250 attendees. We don't like to do the massive thousands of people. We think you lose a lot of impact. So 250, and there'll be all kinds of different types of people, not just realtors. So networking is something to consider as well. Is anyone single here? Single? Yeah. There's some good networking at the seminar. I had a guy the other day who goes, man, this is cheaper than my dating service. Cool. I can run it off too. Awesome. Business expense. So anyway, March 12th, we are doing an event. If you want to come, cool. If you don't want to come, that's okay too. I'm not here to come. I didn't come here today to convince you to come to our event. I came to give information. If you like what it's like, what it feels like, some of the information, think you can make some more money on some of this information, then maybe something for you to consider. But I will do a raffle at the end of the meeting. So if you do want to go, you have a pretty good chance to maybe win some money or win something, okay? So be considering that, I guess, as we go along. All right, so here we are. We're at Thursday, March 12th is a Thursday. We're going to go from 8:15 to 4, Santa Clara Convention Center. Okay? All right, so we got our mind right. Boom. Now what? Now let's go get the sales right. How many of you agree when you're on that listing presentation, it's probably important what to say and how to say it? Yes? So, we built a company from 0 sales to over 20 million. Guess what? Same things we used and the same things we teach, you can build your business on too. Let me give you 2 strategies. And by the way, when it comes to our sales material is meant to do one thing and one thing only. And it's meant to create trust. Everything we say and everything we do all comes back to creating trust with the client. Okay? Let me give you an example. If you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, I think we should go ahead and set that surgery up for you. We'll just cut that right open, and we'll just fix it right up, and we'll sew it back up, and okay? I don't know, Doc. I'm kind of thinking I need a second opinion. Why would we say that? Lack of trust. Why would I say, yeah, let's do it. Cut me open, let's go. Come on. Because you trust. Yes? You're on a listing presentation. Why do they need to talk to 2 more agents? Trust. What if we could help you build and create just a little bit more the next time you meet with your client? And oh, by the way, when that works with your client next time, guess how many times you can keep using it? Over and over and over. Because your business is like the movie Groundhog's Day, isn't it? We just had Groundhog's Day last Monday, right? Did you know real estate's like Groundhog's Day, the movie? Remember the movie, Every Day Was the Same? Okay. Y'all know what you're going to hear at the end of a listing presentation, don't you? Throw it at me. What are you going to hear at the end? Give me some of your objections they're going to give you. What is it? I need to think about it. I'll be back with you. I'll call you next week. I call that the be back bus. I'll be back with you. There it went. Did you see it? It just went by. It didn't stop. It kept going. Huh. Man. What if you could help less people get on that bus? Oh, by the way, how would that affect your business? You wouldn't have to follow up with a whole bunch of people. What does that cost you? Time. What if you could free up just enough time to talk to 2 more people every day? Instead of talking to 3 prior people?
$400.
A day. 10 to 1, or 51 was the ratio, right? 2 more people every day divided by, let's see, how does that work? 2 people, 365, 730, 50 to 1 ratio, 730 more contacts. Most realtors aren't even making that in a year. That's extra. What if you had to do less follow-up? I'll share with you a strategy on how to do that. Okay? So I need to think about it. What else are you hearing? I got to interview 3 more agents. When do you want to hear that? At the beginning or the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
No.
You hear it at the end, they walk right out the exit door, you're done.
Yeah.
You got nothing. You want to find out that early on in the game. I'll share with you how to do that in a second. Okay? Money? Price? Well, the other company said they do it for this. Whether it's a buyer or a listing, but it doesn't matter. Okay, you guys deal with this, right? So let me give you an example of a quick strategy. Before I give you that strategy, let me give you one before we get into this next one. You got to set the table. So everyone put yourself in the mindset of a potential client that's about to list their home, or they're interviewing agents to buy and want to find a home. Okay? Either scenario doesn't matter. Do you guys want to just pick one? Or just 2 listing? Say you're going to list somebody's home and they're talking to 2 or 3 other agents. Okay? Let's just use that as an example. Again, while I'm doing this, consider and think about how you can also use this for buyers. Okay? So, but let's just go down one road with you on this, and I'll share with you how this works. So put yourself in the mindset of the client. They're going to meet with you tomorrow, and you're in sales. And you're going to ask them to buy from you, and you're going to ask them to give you a whole bunch of money, and all that stuff. How do you think they're feeling when they meet you? Yeah? A little standoffish? A little apprehensive? A little scared? They're thinking about the last salesperson they worked with, had a bad experience. They took their keys and blocked the door. Right? Can't get out. Okay? Average consumer has this thought going through their head about salespeople. Aggressive, dishonest, overbearing. Watch your wallet. Okay? So, if this is the case with most people, most consumers, what's our job and only job? Alleviate their fears. Help them feel more comfortable. If you were better at doing that than your competition, what could happen? Let me give you a very simple strategy. You can go out and use it tomorrow or whenever your next appointment is. Okay, here we go. What's your name?
Rosie.
What is it?
Rosie.
Rosie. Okay? Rosie is a real estate agent. And I am thinking about listing my home. And she knows me and I know her, and okay, I'll meet with you. And so we meet. Rosie, I don't know what you're doing right now when you get your client potential listing and you sit down and you give that presentation. I don't know what kind of listing presentation you do, and I don't even care. Watch this. So Rosie goes to our seminar, and on March 13th, she has an appointment with me. Okay? And she sits down with me at the beginning. And by the way, I didn't sleep very well last night because I was wondering how much it's going to cost me and how much you're going to make and all this stuff, right? So I go in, we meet, we go into the room over there, and she picked up one thing at our event, just one thing, and she's going to drop it on me right here. Watch this. You tell me what happens when she uses this line on me. Ready? She says, Dave, I appreciate the opportunity to list your home. I know there's a lot of companies out there that you could use. So again, I really appreciate you kind of giving us the opportunity to share what we have to offer and how we go about doing this. And Dave, if we can find a fit, I'd love to list your home. if for any reason we can't find a fit, I just wanted to make sure that you know that no is a perfectly acceptable answer. Okay? How many agents in Fremont, California are opening up their listing presentation with Rosie, if we can find a fit, we'd love to help you. If for any reason we can't find a fit, I just wanted to make sure that you know that no is a perfectly acceptable answer. What do you think? All the agents that you compete against, how many do you think are using that every day? The answer? About 0. What are you doing different? What are you going to get that they're not getting and using? Okay, so let's break this down. Let's break down the words. Okay, there's about 10 things that happen. Let's not do all 10. Let's break down just a couple. So somebody tell me, when Rosie said, if we can find a fit, we'd love to help you. If for any reason we can't find a fit, no is a perfectly acceptable answer. Somebody dissect what just happened there. I'm feeling a little apprehensive. I'm not sure what's going on. She drops this bomb on me.
She made you feel like welcome.
Okay. Very welcome. Like I'm coming to her house and I'm welcome. Okay, good. Oh, do you feel confident? Yeah, I feel a little confidence in that too. A salesperson told you no is a perfectly acceptable answer. When's the last time a salesperson told you that? No, they're so busy trying to get you to say yes. She used the word confidence. I think that's a good thing if you're sitting across the table from your client trying to get a listing, huh? Good. What else? Anybody see anything else happening? Again, there's about 10 things that happen. Let's just break down a couple.
It puts the pressure off, right? You know, like seller feels like he's not like obligated or anything, you know. So, because usually the salesmen, they are really pushy, right? So, if that pressure kind of puts off, so he feels more comfortable, right? So it's
I think you removed the shield.
Because I was like this, right? I don't know how much you're gonna make, and oh my gosh, you're gonna do your job, and right? And all of a sudden, I'm just like, okay. You mean I'm in control? You're not gonna like do like the other guy did and try to like twist my arm and no? Okay. I kind of like this. This feels pretty good. Okay? Good observation. All right? Can anyone see me going like this? Oh, man. Now, if she has me doing this, what might happen to this? Oh. If you're on a listing presentation, you think it might be more helpful if the client's actually right there in tune with you and listening to what you're saying? Most people are not with you. Want to know why? They're worried about how they're going to get out of it at the end. Have you ever done that yourself? Sat through a presentation the whole time and went, how am I going to get out of this? What am I going to say, right? I hope my wife texts me and tells me it's an emergency or something. Right? You with me? The neat thing about this is they don't have to worry about that. Why? Because no is a perfectly acceptable. Boom. I can be right here with you. I don't have to be somewhere else. I don't have to worry about what's going on at the end. I just say no if I want to. Well, let me ask you a question. Has anyone picked up a client? Remember that client? And you wished you would have never agreed to do business with them? Okay? What I'm getting at is this. No is a perfectly acceptable answer, yes? This goes two ways, folks. This goes two ways. Sometimes you've got to also understand when it's probably not going to be a very good fit. And I'll use that example in a second. You got El Cheapo with it. Okay, El Cheapo. I'll play that game with you here in a second, okay? A lot of things happening in this one little sentence, but what did Rosie just do? She set the table. She just set the table, that's all she did. She got me to go, oh, this seems different. This feels nice, I like this, right? I was a little scared before, now I like her, okay? All right, now what? Now what we teach is this, okay? All we're doing is creating trust. Just credit trust. All the way down to the end, okay? When I say the end, here's what the end is. We teach this. It's called the sales hallway. It's page 37 of the workbook we give out at the seminar. This right here is a hallway. And there, Rosie, you don't wear ties, do you? You don't wear ties, do you? Okay, so we'll pretend that person doesn't have a tie. Okay, that's you. That's you're an agent. And that's my wife and I. Okay. And what we would teach you to do on March the 12th is we would teach you to walk the client down the hallway. What we teach our clients is to visually imagine there's a hallway. And your presentation is nothing more than just strolling down the hall with your client, hand in hand. Okay? And as you're going down that hall, there are typically doors in most hallways. Okay? Imagine there was a wall right here. What do we have? 1, 2, 3 doors, right? I think in your business there's probably about 4 doors. You gave me 3 of them. I need to talk to 2, 3 more agents. Call me next week. I need to think about it. And yeah, it seems kind of expensive. I think I can do it cheaper down the street. Okay, you gave me those 3. I want you to imagine now, if you're not already doing this, that those are doors in the hallway. Now, most training companies teach this. Give your presentation. Step number 4, presentation. Step number 5, you want to take a stab at it? Who's been to a seminar before? Step 4 is presentation. Step 3 is qualifying. Step 2 is prospecting. Step 1 is building rapport, I don't know. Step 5 is what? What is it? Reaffirming. What is it? Closing. Step 6 is what? They just lay over, right? They just give you their money. Step 6 is overcoming objections. Okay? Good. Some of you haven't been to a seminar before. Okay. A lot of companies teach this. Here's 16 ways to overcome the money objection. That's all fine and good, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying, what if you didn't have to overcome the objections? You could just eliminate them. So we do not have a step 6 overcome objections in our process. We actually have a presentation, which is eliminating the objections in your presentation. So you don't have to overcome them. Okay? So let me give you an example how that works. Let's just use the money as an example. Hey, thanks for the information. It seems kind of expensive, though. Okay, now you have to do what? Closing and convincing them why they should use you and all this stuff. Have you ever heard customers always right? So this is usually where they tell you or prove to you why you're wrong and they're right and nobody wins. Right? What if you didn't have to deal with it, you just eliminated it? Let me give you an example of how to do that. Okay? So Rosie, she's got my wife and I by the hand and she's just walking us down the hallway. And there's that door right there and it says money on it. Okay? So what Rosie's going to do if she's not already doing this is she's going to open up the door. She's going to open up the door. And she's going to walk in with my wife and I. And she's going to have a conversation with my wife and I about money. Oh, by the way, it's going to be an honest one. Okay, let me share with you how this works. Okay? So, open the door, walk in. I'll give you some verbiage from the seminar. Give it to you now. If you can get it in the time that you're here, cool. Take it and run with it. If you can't, maybe you need to come back and we'll give you the words so you have it back. Okay? So here we go. She says, Dave, just roll with me on this, okay? So whatever I say, if I ask you a question, just say yes or no, okay? It's really easy to role play with me. You on board? Okay, ready? So she walks in this room. I want to play you for a second, okay? You're my wife or us, okay? I'm the realtor now. And you go and you get these words. And you go, okay, I don't have all the words down, but I'll keep it a word. Open the door. Here's the money room. And you walk in and you say, Dave, again, I really appreciate the opportunity to list your home. I know there's lots of agents that you could use in the area. I'm not sure, Rosie, if you've shopped around yet, or?
No.
Okay. When am I, the agent, finding out she hasn't shopped yet? At the beginning or the end? What's the benefit for me finding out now versus later? Later, I am done. I got nothing. Thanks for the information. Can you send me an email? And I got 2 more appointments. I'll call you next week. If you don't hear from me, make sure you just give me a call. We're probably going to use you though, Rosie. We really like you. It sounds pretty good. We'll probably use you, but you know I do have those other 2 appointments, so I gotta. Does that sound familiar? Okay? It doesn't have to. What if you never had to hear that again? So watch how we do this, okay? We call it eliminating not overcoming. So she's in this room, this money room. She's just asked the client, I'm not sure if you shopped around yet, or she said what? She said no. Watch this. Here's my next verbiage. Okay, Rosie, well, let me tell you what you will find. You're going to find a company more expensive than ours. You're going to find a company competitively priced. And you're going to find El Cheapo. And then she's going to say, and just so you know, Dave, here at our company, we're definitely not El Cheapo. Now, by the way, what if your client's El Cheapo? And she just told me, just so you know, we're definitely not El Cheapo here. If you're working with El Cheapo right now, guess what they're going to let you know? Hey, dude, you're not El Cheapo? That's what I'm looking for. That's me, I'm El Cheapo, okay? All I want is, when would she want to know this? Now or